Am I insane? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm crazy.
My favorite movie is Army of Darkness.
Kanda.
Groovy.
And now, it's story time. Story time! It's story time! Tell us a story! This is the Evil Dead themed episode. I thought it'd be fitting for the first episode because a little fun fact about me is my favorite movie is Army of Darkness, and with the new Evil Dead TV show coming out, I'm pretty excited, so I thought it kind of appropriate for this first episode to just kind of blather on about it. Anyway, moving on. So this was like 2004, and my sister gave me a paper, it had an article that Bruce Campbell was going to be in Grand Rapids promoting his book and Man with the Screaming Brain before it went on TV. On the day of, I called my friend Mike, and I asked him what he was doing. He's like, well, I got to work. And I'm like, hey, dude, call in sick. And he's like, why? I'm like, we're going to meet Bruce Campbell. And so I meet up with him in Grand Rapids, and we get down to the Wealthy Theater, and we go and we get in line. And while we're in line, I realized I'd left the camera in the car. And we stood in line for a couple hours. It even rained for a good part of it. I got my book right here. Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. I was number 199 to Make Love. And then I bought the last 2 tickets to see the movie and a little Q&A session with Bruce Campbell. It was actually a really fun night. By the time we got inside, I'm like, oh man, I should have brought my camera inside. I left it in the car. And by the time I realized this, I was standing in line. I'm just about to get up to meet him, and I kind of go like in shock. I'm kind of dumbfounded at how stupid I am that I forgot my camera. That when I go up to meet Bruce, I gave the guy my name. I'm kind of like half in a daze going, I'm a really big fan. It's nice to meet you. And Bruce Campbell gave me a funny look. Probably because, I don't know, I probably seemed like I was on something. But anyway, he was nice about it, and he signed my book and everything. Oh, hey Jack. Someday maybe I'll get a chance to meet him again and actually meet him and do it right. And now let's take a look at some video games. Video games? Video games. Video games!
Evil Dead Hail to the King is a survival horror game which continues the story of chainsaw and boomstick-wielding anti-hero Ash.
Groovy.
Taking place a few years after Army of Darkness, he and his new girlfriend Jenny go back to the cabin to confront his past and his demons. As soon as the story starts, Ash's severed hand from Evil Dead 2 shows up to play the Professor Nobi Megamix.
Kanda.
Which, of course, brings out the evil and takes Jenny, releases Bad Ash, and sends Ash on a quest for his girlfriend and the pages of the Necronomicon. Since it's a game, suddenly there's all these areas around the original cabin that were there the whole time. A Deadite hillbilly moonshine and sausage factory, apparently. A Deadite Boy Scout camping grounds. An incredibly frustrating maze filled with ballet dancing skeletons, plenty of trails with plenty of bad guys, and you're low on gas. Throughout the game, there's tons of references to the film series, like the bridge being out to Ash's infamous car, his dead girlfriend Linda, his hand, and even Bad Ash. But let's talk about gameplay. First off, the controls suck. Even the analog sticks won't improve. Though it is rather slow reacting and awfully hard to steer our hero, if you can manage to adjust to its original awfulness, you shouldn't have a problem making it through the game. The enemies in this game, especially if you're playing for the first time, can be a real pain. These guys are the worst of it. Right when the game starts, you get thrust into battle with these uglies. They like to gang up on you. The only other enemies I've encountered that respawn this much are the bat demons and these dog demon things, which can both be taken out with a few hits from your chainsaw. But they are location specific, unlike these jerks who show up everywhere. A good strategy to use to ensure survival, at least to the next saving area, which I'll cover in a moment, is to conserve your gas. Having said that, though, do try to use your chainsaw as often as you can. Fights don't drag on as long, and when the enemies are weakened, hit X and Ash will jam his chainsaw into the ugly. Then hit square and he'll say something snappy and finish it off.
Swallow this. Groovy.
The benefit to executing finishing moves are large health kits. Then conserve gas by pressing circle. This'll kill the chainsaw. But it is rather challenging if you're not used to it, when you can only save at storage chests. Fortunately, they are everywhere. But save tapes aren't a repetitively occurring item, so save wisely. The story is the best part of the game, with Bruce Campbell as Ash, of course. It's a fun mess of Evil Dead stereotypes and catchphrases, but in the second disc, thrusts Ash back into the past where he runs into the author of the translated Necronomicon and helps him to escape a death sentence, solve puzzles, and kill armored skeletons to get the final showdown with evil Ash, saving the girl and going home only to find out the world has changed into some kind of Deadite-run Necronomicon fanatical world going back to no happy ending like in the original Evil Dead.
No!
All in all, I like the game, but not for its controls and gameplay. But giving you the chance to battle evil is one of Hollywood's best characters. Even though the graphics are pretty bad by today's standards, they do feel right for the game's overall translation from the movie universe, but later games would improve on gameplay elements for some more ways to play, and of course kill Deadites. I'd say pick it up and try it, especially if you're an Evil Dead fan, and in closing let me leave you with one final tip. Don't be a wuss. In this game, I found the best way to get through this game effectively is to get down and dirty with all the bad guys and the bosses. Case in point is at the end when you fight Bad Ash in his second form. You can try shooting him until you're out of ammo and no health to find yourself dying repeatedly. Instead, try keeping a couple large health kits, rev up your chainsaw, and get right in its face. Not only will your upgraded chainsaw pizza cutter do way more damage than any of your guns, the time to beat this guy is dramatically reduced.
And now for some music. Music! Well, that's about all the chop suey I have for you right now. Subscribe. Leave a like or a comment. Subscribe. Read my comics. Watch Stein. I'll have links in the description for everything.